Welcome back. We're starting to really get into the New York City mayoral race, and it's still facing a somewhat crowded field, at least on the Republican side and the Democrat side, to be fair. Take a look at the latest polls here, and they showed the former MTA chief Joe Lhota. He's leading the pack for the GOP with Doe Fund founder George McDonald and supermarket magnate John Catsimatidis behind him. But this far out from the election, the undecided number, easily the clear front runner. And in the general, each Democrat in the race, they whoop up on the current GOP frontrunner. But that doesn't mean here that somebody from the outside, especially a self-funded guy like John Catsimatidis, doesn't have a real chance here. And he might even have the chance to beat a Joe Lhota as well as the rest of the pack. Dominic sat down with I was going to say the supermarket magnate, but he's a lot more than that here. What'd you think of the guy?
Well, let me put it this way, and this is the best way I can say this. Is New York ready for a billionaire mayor? I know, ba-doom-doom. Been that, done that. He's very impressive when you sit down with him. We've done that for the last 12 years, but this is a different billionaire, John Catsimatidis, who owns quite a few supermarkets in New York City. And by the way, he is not, for the most part, Richard, a big fan of City Council Speaker Christine Quinn. He says Quinn should be investigated. Now, caught up in the indictment of State Senator Malcolm Smith and the others is Republican operative Vince Tabone. Tabone, up until this week, was employed by Catsimatidis as both a political consultant and as general counsel for Catsimatidis' supermarket chain. So as a candidate for mayor, obviously we started out with the indictment of Catsimatidis' aide. Mr. Catsimatidis, have you removed Mr. Tabone from your payroll?
It was very disheartening, and but we fired him from the campaign payroll, and we suspended him from the company payroll.
Why?
Well, you know, the campaign is the campaign, and we can't have any improprieties. On the company payroll, we have to, you know, people are innocent until they're proven guilty. So our lawyers tell us that through the company payroll, we should suspend them without pay, pending whatever happens.
Are you embarrassed?
I feel hurt by it. I knew his family. He has a very nice wife. He's got 3 beautiful children, and you know, he has a legal degree, and to take a chance on losing your license to practice law and to hurt your family, it's very sad.
Does this hurt your campaign?
No effect, because look, we are hands above the table. We have done nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, if the allegations are true, he was working for one of my competitors for him to get a Wilson Pakula to run against me. So I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, and I pray for his family.
Mr. Catsimatidis, you were raised in Harlem. You're worth an estimated $3 billion. Why in the world do you want to be mayor? Does the city of New York need another billionaire mayor?
I'm not a billionaire mayor. I'm different than Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg went from the fancy law schools of, I forget where he went, Yale or Harvard, and he went straight to Salomon Brothers. I grew up in the streets. I was a college dropout because I was working. I was 8 credits short. And I climbed, and I worked in the stores, and I did that for 5 or 10 years, clawing my way. And that's what I want to do. One of the things, let my kids run the business. What I want to do is help New York. New York has been good to me, has been good to my family. I went from a little Greek island to 135th Street to my daughter marrying a very nice kid whose grandfather was president of the United States. I want to give back to our city. And, you know, I admired Fiorello LaGuardia. He says, it's not about being a Democrat, it's not about being a Republican. It's about being a New Yorker, loving New York. And that's me. I love New York. I want to give back. And I think all successful business people or successful in anything should give back to society.
Okay, well, one of your Republican opponents, Joe Lhota, he has served as a deputy mayor. Can one make a decision here that he's more qualified because he has government service?
Absolutely not. You know, Joe is a very fine person. But he's a technocrat. You know, maybe he should run for controller. But me, I'm a visionary. I'm the only one running in the Democratic or Republican or that's created tens of thousands of jobs. I know how to create jobs. I don't go for status quo. And that's what I want to do for New York. I have plans to create 100,000 jobs for New York.
So Mr. Lhota's not more qualified?
No, absolutely not. I am more qualified. He's a fine man, but let him do what he's qualified at.
But Joe Lhota did work under Rudy Giuliani. Is that a plus or a liability?
I think, look, Rudy did his job at the period of time when he did it. But let's not forget the numbers. Obama won New York, 81% to 19%. A pure Republican cannot win in New York. So it's all about winning. Dominic, you know me, I was a Clinton Democrat. I am a pro-business Republican, but it takes a blend of a pro-business Republican to get the Reagan Democrats and get the pro-business Clinton Democrats. That's the only way you could win. And unfortunately, I don't think my competition can do that.
The controversial policy, you know what's going on not far from here, the trial, the NYPD trial, stop and frisk. If you're elected mayor, will you continue the policy? What do you think about stop and frisk?
We got to protect all our citizens. I think the stop and frisk needs a lot of improvement. But don't forget the statistics. In Detroit, we're killing 64 people out of every 100,000. They're dying in the streets. In Chicago, 20 people out of every 100,000. In New York City, Ray Kelly has it down to 5. You can't beat that statistic. We want to protect the kids, the 10-year-olds that are getting shot in our poorer neighborhoods. I'm from those neighborhoods, Dominic. I want to protect those kids. But I also want to make the police department more responsible by not putting rookies in areas where we have a lot of stop and frisks. You don't put a rookie with a 0.00 batting average on stop and frisk. You get professionals, policemen that know what they're doing. And that problem will probably be solved in about a year. We're going into the 21st century. They're going to have a machine that if I aim it at you, a machine will be out in about a year. I aim it at you, they'll tell me if you have a gun on that. So let's not give back our streets to the hoodlums. Let's live with it for another year, modify it, and then let's go into technology to solve the problem.
What do you think of Christine Quinn, Bill Thompson?
I think Bill Thompson is a very, very decent guy. I like Bill. What do I think?
Decent
Bill
enough
has
to be mayor?
Yes, but maybe not tough enough. You got to be tough. Tough but tender. What did Frank Perdue used to say? And with Christine Quinn, I'm not sure. I've had lunch with her and I've had dinner with her, and she's a, nice lady. But I'm not sure New York is ready.
Ready for what?
For Christine Quinn.
What does that mean?
That
a woman mayor, openly gay mayor?
No, a combination of all things. Losing her temper once in a while. I think that's very serious. Some of the violations in the city council with funding charities that other people have, what's the word in Brooklyn? Glommed the money. That's wrong. She's talking about an inspector general for the police department. I think we need an inspector general for the city council. to see where all this money's going.
Now, Richard, very interesting comment. Christine Quinn is not going to get a pass on those federal investigations of the city council. Catsimatidis is making that clear right now, months and ahead.
A lot of folks are, especially what was on those tapes reportedly on with Halloran on the other end. Listen, he said he's going to spend, what is it, $1 million a month, he said?
$1 million a month. He's not going to spend Bloomberg money, $1 million a month.
What do you think $1 million a month can buy in this race?
It can buy you name recognition. What he says, that's what he plans on doing with it. I mean, I don't think that Andrew or I can spend $1 million, or anybody here at the table, $1 million a month.
We know it could probably buy him a spot on the ballot. I mean,
but you know, also Brewster's millions.
But he is an interesting character. Right? He's got on his wall photos from all over the world. He built part of Camp David under President Clinton. And so with pictures with the Pope, Fidel Castro, and he's a nice guy, he really is. I was gonna wear it today. He gives you, if he likes you, a tie that he had on, and the one he gave me was red. So maybe I'll wear it next week for you.
I don't even know where to go from that one here.
wow.
Yes, exactly. Andrew's like, where's mine? All right, we take a quick break. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about the late night music chairs. Listen, there's a lot of fighting in politics here. It's a Friday. We're going to light things up a little bit, but there's comings and goings, and it's interesting who's going to be the last men standing at a few places. We'll talk about that after this.